camera. And hey, little folks that's living in there, that's tuning into the Psy TAi POdcast through YouTube on your computer. This is some magic, isn't it? So, man, we on number 68, number 68,000, because that's the year we in, the year 6,800. All right, so what's going on today in today's world? Hey, I'm about to light up and just tie. Ties is when you combine, just ties when you combine your mind with your heart. See what those two circles saying? Combine your gut too, because your gut got a mind. And let it all out. Let's see what happens. Let's just talk it all out. Share this on the Discord. Yeah, the link to the Discord is in there because this is all about a conversation, a Thai-versation. That's what this is all about. Having a Thai-versation and letting the cookies crumble, letting the ball roll, letting the blunt puff. That's what's going on. Just letting the blunt puff. Welcome to Just Ty, where we just let the blunt puff. Well, yeah, a lot of us, our attentions is probably on a lot of other things. Let me post this. Bang. All right. Yeah. But shout outs to uh, True, to True Life over there, True Life Stories, that's doing the thing as convenient as possible for him, and it is really turning worlds and universes on their heads upside down with every show, with every episode, every upload he's doing. Just gotta really tune in to really see. But y'all, man, just witness it. Just witness what's going on over there with him. And the way he presents it. I love it. I love his presentations. It gets me excited every single time. Gets me real excited. And also, remember, death is but a disenchantment is a phrase of poetry. Death is but a disenchantment. So, but Baba Kalindi traversing onto the traversing verse, the universe, the multiverse, hyperspace. Man, I hope you see what's going on. Thanks for going into those moments with me where we was talking things out through the internet, through me watching you on YouTube and you coming out the tube and saying, "Hey, listen to this, youngin." Hey, let's go. Hey, Ken guys. Hey, Ken guys. Yeah, and check out Oz channel as well. A lot of moves going on. A lot of moves going on in the fam. uh, oh, and that last video where I was playing the VR game, that's how the universe works. I thought I had the microphone on. I was talking the whole time. But I guess Ty was talking and the thing that's bigger than Ty was like, "You're not talking." But that was an awesome game. The tie on the experience of playing a dark matter game in VR. It was amazing. And I brought it up. That reminded him of this game called The Mist. And I brought it up to my neighbors, the game. And they said, "Oh, this remind me of this 90s PC game called The Mist." And I was like, "Oh, this AI guy called you well. He said it was like The Mist too." So I gotta check out that game. It's an old 90s PC game that deals with using your mind to figure out how to get out of a room and stuff like that. But that game was very cool. Y'all seen how it was, how you was able to turn on your third eye and stuff like that and see what was around the room that wasn't previously seen. We was doing some signature Alex in Wonderland type stuff where we was or true or or signature true life story type stuff where we was shrinking down to the molecular scale. But that game wasn't that small. It was still where you had to do a puzzle. You was able to see things on it. Like, say I had to work with this. I was able to see how this was, and then I was able to put on my third eye, and I saw these red crystals, and then that allowed me to go into this as being something as small as the little pebbles that's walking around in there, that I was able to walk around there and change stuff around. It was a very cool game. And what else was cool about it was the feeling you get from the feeling I was getting from using my mind to figure out what was going on, like having to relax and knowing that this is the world at B. This is the world at B. At B. Yeah. And this what are you going to do now? And it's so like a trip. It is a trip. It's a digital trip. It's a digital trip formulated by consciousness, just like everything else is formulated by consciousness. So when I've been there, I allow my senses to play along with it like that. I don't try to say, "Oh, this is just a game" or something like that. I'm like, well, I'm experiencing it, just like I'm experiencing everything else, man. It's not over. I'm not gonna over explain everything right now. Just tying without burning my hair off. Look though, for what I seen, you play. Oh yeah, K Guys was there. I said that to my girlfriend. I said, "Man, King Guys and UL, they some real buddies, cause they couldn't even hear me talk all that time, and they was still watching, cause I sure was talking to y'all. I was responding every time you wrote something. So thanks, bro." And mm, just the way, like when I was doing the portals and the spells and using the cauldron and stuff, I felt as though I not even felt as though I was really doing that. That's how I worded to myself. I was creating those spells. I was traveling through those dimensions. I was stuck in a house and had to figure out how to use the key when put in the moonlight and stuff like I was in that world. And I love games because that's what games always been about. If you really go back to the PC gamers, I've adventure games, Bandersnatch, really, like, for the public, I believe, opened their eyes up to the adventure game aspect and what these PC gamers was tapping into when they was creating these adventure games where you arrive at a place and then you have to click right. You have to click what you're going to say, and that affects the rest of the game. You have to find clues. You can miss clues and stuff like that, and then find the clue later back. And then like, oh man, if I would have found this earlier in the game, and then people replay it and find more clues and hidden gems, and then they pass on knowledge and create forums on the internet. This is around when the internet was being formed, was developing to what it was today. And so people were just sharing knowledge and saying, hey, I ran across this while I was in this space, I ran across this while I was in this space. And isn't that wild how consciousness always, how we're always just talking to each other? We're you, me, I'm always talking to me in some other different ways and different forms, just coming at me. And I'm like, whoa, okay, all right. And it is and it's is and I try to not beat myself up because I'm like, man, I just have this human understanding of things. And it's just like, that's just how it is. I'm but a human right here. Like, this, I'm but a human, but this is not me. This is like just a tentacle of me. What is me? So I've been relaxing a lot with over emphasizing a lot of things and trying to describe and things and just letting it come. Just letting it be. Just being. Not even just letting it be. Just being. Who am I letting be? I'm the bee, you know? A killer in the bee. Yeah, that was a good movie. She had to do the spelling bee and stuff like that. And that's a good segue to spells. Oh yeah, that's what's talking about adventure games and stuff like that. And that's what life is. You always on this adventure and got these thoughts and like leading you on, and sometimes don't it feel like in your reality is it's the audience pushing buttons, or they like pushing this thought into you so that you can like deal, like go through this scenario, like saying it's an intense situation, and then the moment freezes and all you hear is, why do we have to choose? That's the game. I brought it up. You well missed. No, I did not play it, but I looked up a trailer of it on PC. I mean on YouTube, And I see how it is similar. And they were saying how that game was a pioneer for a lot of other games that was developed here thereafter. Yeah, I want to see what it's about. This going out kind of fast. I also like Zelda for the trials. Don't go there with Zelda. Zelda is the man. I played Ocarina of Time growing up, and then I replayed Ocarina of Time at least like five, 6 more times growing up. I didn't always complete it. I always just went real deep with it, and then I would just go do something else. But Breath of the Wild was amazing because I was playing that when I first started doing acid. When I first started doing acid, that's when I was playing Breath of the Wild. So I was just going out in the world. That's when I first started appreciating video games again. So I was just looking at the grass. But yeah, if y'all play Breath of the Wild, y'all know what's good. Very mystical game. Art is where it's at. The more artsy games are, man, I'm saying it takes you to another place. Well, you are in another place as soon as you put your hand on the controller. And I think that's why when the developers of the games had the vision, when they were making these games of VR life and stuff like that, they knew what was on board, even with the little games. Like they should try to say only nerds was playing games back then. Like what that nerd is a brain neurochemistry that allows you to zone out, that allows your brain to be out there. That's why we take mushrooms and DMT. You're messing with your neurochemistry to allow this to be that, this to be in that, like in that, you know. So nerds, their neurochemistry is kind of screwed differently, just screwed in differently. So then when they approach games and stuff like that, and this is all just stuff I'm coming up with, they able to play, they able to tap into what the game is, tap into that rim, that which is the game. They like, oh, I'm not just this body. You ever play Dragon's Dogma? Never heard of it. Let me see. Dragons. I wasn't a PC gamer growing up. I didn't have a. The only games I played on PC. Oh, this is a new game. This one. Oh, they probably remade it for PS4. Yeah, I see it right. Wait, hold on. Let me. I forgot I could do the. I didn't forget. We're just doing it. Ah, role playing game. They tap into the imagination. Yes, the the nation, the Magi nation. For sure, you will. The Magi's, man. I used to be real into learning about the Magi's when I was watching the Mummy, the first Mummy movie, and they had the Magi's come in, and I was like, yo, they the cool guys. I want to be a Magi. Real shit, real story, true story. All right, Dark Horizon is part two. Hmm. It's an action role playing game, Capcom for PlayStation 3, Xbox, and enhanced version subtitled Dark Horizon was released for the game's original console, like you just said. Alright, yeah, we're gonna check these out. And they just released a remake of Final Fantasy VII. I was playing the demo of it because I never actually beat it. I gotta admit, I never actually played the whole thing. I just know about the lore from reading about it in YouTube videos growing up and just being interested in it. But I never actually completed the game myself. So I don't know. I said this is probably an opportunity. The fighting style they made in it is very similar to King. Well, I'm seeing they've made it like Kingdom Hearts now, where it's not completely turn based. You can actually make it turn based, where you can rely on just putting commands and then have the character go out and do stuff, or you can be in the body and work with the commands at the same time. Yeah, it is the lore and the artistry of it, and they try to say that was the starter of it. Like the other six didn't have as much lore to it, but it was something about Final Fantasy VII that ever since it came out on the PS1, just was took over. Ever since they remade it at least like 4 or 5 times. I saw the movie back in the day, but it had me thinking about when they said the command system. It had me it was a cool metaphor that ran across my mind of how you can be in the command moving the swords and like doing the spells at the same time, or you can sit back and throw the commands in there and then have the character do what it do. That's like it's different forms of consciousness. Like when you start getting into forms of, when you start getting into meditation, get into yourself, you start seeing the thoughts coming at you or the commands and stuff. And when you on the psychedelics, it seemed like I'm mostly in the commander position. I'm not swinging around, but I am at the same time. As y'all know how it is, and I guess that's why you're able to choose back and forth. Cause that's just what I'm experiencing. It always breaks apart into those fractals. You can beat game and not have it all. Oh, it is like that. Cause I was reading tips about it yesterday, and they was saying how to get used to using Cloud's Punisher system. Cause you can go through the whole game without using it, but it would be a lot harder, a lot more difficult if you wasn't. And they only mention it like in the beginning of the game for a little bit of while. And that is another metaphor for life. Since we tie on a channel like that, that's what we do on here naturally is tie things together with y'all know blah 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 blah. I'm making a bunch of excuses, but how we played this game that we at right now a whole bunch of times, a whole infinite amount of times. And that yo, what's going on, Cozy? It's been a minute. Hey, Cozy. How in this life we did this a lot of times, and you get that realization on mushrooms. You play it on mushrooms, and you're like, oh yeah. You wake up and it's like you go back in time, and time don't even exist. So me making it up, saying you go back in time and forward in time, and then you learn different lessons, so you're able to carry it forward to this moment. That's how it feels. That's how it feels. You say, yeah, many people play life never knowing abilities. Yep, never knowing the items. I was taking back a conversation I had with Mystery Ozo, and we was talking about going into trips and just trips in life. And now you got your items prepared. You know that when you go into this cave, you got to make sure you got this amount of potions. You know how to work the fire spells so that you can quickly go to them, or have short create, or even start creating shortcuts for them where you don't have to go through the whole menu. You can just do and then just go like that. Yeah, many like never knowing in Mario you can get fireballs or even jump for some. Yo, it's a somebody made a YouTube video where he titled it an unorthodox study of my girlfriend playing video games, and she didn't grow up playing video games, so she didn't have that skill of knowing how to operate and navigate in those universes that we're used to navigating, like how to use the compass is pointing to a direction you probably should be walking into, like if you just align it right. Or he even brought up Mario. He brought up um she was confused on the mushrooms was coming to him. She was confused on how to use. She thought the mushroom was always gonna go down that path when you hit it up. So when it went that way, she was confused that you couldn't go back in the world, like go backtrack in Mario. You only could keep going forward, and a lot of other abilities. I think they did mention ah dash. That's what it was. She didn't know how to dash in video games. And for us, that's what he was saying in his words. And I saw that too, how that's a natural thing. Like, yo, I don't want to just walk like this. I want to like walk as fast as I can. That's why in Zelda, I always was just rolling. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I barely walked in that game. But she never did that. So it took her really long to actually complete the games. And he wasn't giving tips on how to do stuff. He wasn't trying to give tips on how to do it. He wanted to see how her brain was going to come up with what to do. Oh, great. Yeah, it is. I was watching like two of them because he did a part two. He tried to show her Minecraft, I think. That's a whole nother story. I'm still trying to get into Minecraft. And it was dope. And her trying to learn how to use the sticks, to use the like move the camera angles. What the heck? Oh, one of them hunter mosquitoes was on my leg. They really big, but they don't bite you. But they hunt other mosquitoes. Where'd you go? Just gonna sit there? Mm. That's how people are now. Never knew. No, some plants can give you vision beyond sight. And that's why, and that's what was starting this just time motivating all of this. Cause you don't really know. You don't really know. I brought it. News story. I haven't played Dark Souls. I'm telling you, all these games, I know these games, Dark Souls and stuff. I know about Dark Souls, but I kept telling myself I didn't have the patience to play them. Cause that was around the time I stopped playing video games for a long time. I stopped playing video games until GTA 5 came out, and then that's what made me buy a whole system. A whole system when that came out. Dark Souls. Isn't it Dark Souls? Dark Souls 2? Yeah, I was hearing about that. Oh, yeah. They probably on Dark Souls 3 now. I gotta catch up. Oh, no, it just came out 2019? No, it was on PlayStation 3. Some things about how to be Kranos, that's his name. But yeah, the story I was gonna bring up, my mom found her way to some mushrooms. Somehow, some way, she found her way to some mushrooms, and I was talking to her. She only took a couple. She said, "So, I took some last night before I went to sleep." I said, "You did?" I said, "You should have called me first." And I was like, and then I said, "How'd it go?" No, I didn't say you should call me first, but that's just what I thought. But I said, "How'd it go?" I said, "Was your dreams more vivid? Like, was you in it?" Because she said she took it and then she went to sleep. She just ate like a stem or something like that. And she said, "Yeah, I was. My dreams has been," but she was saying her dreams been on for like the past 2 weeks. So it was. I said, "Oh, it probably just upped it," and she was just like, "Yeah, yeah, it did." So then the next day, she had some. She had some more. While she was talking, she said, "So, do I just eat these?" And I said, "Yeah, mom." I said, "You can eat them, or you can put them in tea or something like that." And then we would start talking about something else. And then a couple minutes later, she said, "All right, so I just ate these." So I just ate these mushrooms. I said, she said, "Hmm." I said, "Who? I think I do like feel it a little bit." I said, "No, you ain't feel nothing." Yeah. I said, "How many did you eat?" I said, "We should have waited out or something." So I didn't know how much she ate or anything. But it was funny. But it was funny that she was able that she just was going forward. She was just going forward, just munching on it and stuff like that. And I just said, "All right, mom." I said, "Well, if anything happens, I mean, if you get to, yeah, my mom." I said, if anything gets too big or something like, yeah, that's what I said. If anything gets too big, just lay down." I said, "Just lay down. That's all." And she said, "Okay." She said, "I don't know if I want to lay down though." Yeah, mine. Well, Ty's mom. um, she had said, and she said, "I ain't trying to." She said, "Okay." She said, "I ain't really trying to lay down though." I said, "Okay." I said, "Just remember that I said that." Just remember that I said that. And oh, you gave your mom's two a few times. She got a couple, so I hope she go back in the future again. I hope she go back in. But oh man, I remember you telling me before that you gave your mom some, and that's what's been motivating me ever since to be like, oh, well, it actually is possible that somebody's mom can enjoy it. Besides me hearing about it in movies or something like that. But yeah, she enjoyed it. She actually when she lost her card because she actually did try to go outside and go shopping and stuff, and she lost her access card. Her card, but luckily she had another card with more money on it while she was outside. I said, "See, mom, I told you," but she said, "Yeah, I'm all right though." My sister was with her. I said, "Brianna, just make sure mommy all right." And she had some THC honey, and I said, and I was like, she took the whole thing too. I said, you only should have took a little bit. She said, no, I need something that's going to relax me. I want to be relaxed. I said, all right, mom. I said, okay. So she had a nice time being outside. I got to really talk to her to see how her thoughts was. But at the end of the day, she said, yeah, she had said, yeah, I see what you mean when you said lay down. It came up a couple times, but I fought it. She said, I fought it. And I said, oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. He said, I'm waiting for the day to DMT her. Oh, that's going to be the day. That's going to be the day. Y'all going to see all the same person. Look around like, whoa. And it's weird because me and my mom look alike, too. Well, imagine that. Wait, what's going on? But yeah, she enjoyed it. She had some shots by the end of the day. She said so. She just was journeying with it, just allowing it to relax her and stuff. And she ain't had no regrets about it. So that's how that day went. Shout outs to the moms. And my sister, I was surprised, was like, "You took the mushrooms? I wanted. Oh, you should have told me. I would have took some too." I was cracking up. I said, "Wow, I ain't think those words would just come out their lips like that." Oh, she always saying she was about to call me or she was just thinking about me or stuff like that. Cause we talk to each other every day. Like literally, if it's not every day, it's every other day, as they say. Ha ha ha. But out of on mushies now, then I do in this zone that I've been in. Everything seems. I'm trying to hold this in without talking so much. Everything seems out of the blue. I'm out of the blue. The sponge is blue. What you need? On mushies or DMT more. So DMT people I know. Okay. You said on mushies or DMT more. So DMT people I know just pop up. I'm confused, but I get it. Yeah. Uh, Sage way that way. A thought that came into my mind. No, that's one of my catchphrases. A thought that just came into my mind, as if that's an excuse for me to talk. But you I was watching True Life video on his 4ACMO trip that y'all need to go check out now, or when this is over. he was talking about here he was able to tune the voices that was in his head, and when he tuned it to a certain frequency, he's able to see how it came from different people. And I was just watching this morning, so I want to talk about it. That's why I'm talking about it now. And he was saying how he's able to tune it and hear how it was a different voice, like from this person he heard, or from a commercial, or from a TV program, or from this or from that. and it's and a different segue came into my mind where I was thinking about how mushrooms really put humans, or so-called, like whatever this thing is, that's how I always say this thing is, how it puts us on this similar path journey. Like it awakens us to similar things, like people all in existence, or all in this matrix, in this section of space that we in right now experiencing. Like it's similar things pop up, like similar things that you run across, that you wake up to, similar things that you wake up to. And it's cool witnessing it. And I know people witnessing it with me all the time. And that's what I'll be laughing at too. I'd be like, yo, somebody looking at me. I remember somebody was saying how they had their hair cut like how I did before. And he said, yeah, I had my hair cut like that before. You a wild boy. And said something else. And it was something that catched on. And I was like, yo, he, it was like, yo, he know this phase or something like that. But it's cool. It's cool. It's interesting to see and witness. It's interesting to witness the connections going on, the vibes. But when he was talking about the voices being in the head, that's what I said made me start talking more loony, because I started hearing all of those voices as because of the mushroom as well. And I started saying, wait, that's not me. That's not how I talk. That's not what I say. I'm just saying this because this is what this moment calls for usually. But I could say this instead. And it's been remixing in so many moments, to the nitty gritty, down to the fitty ditty, down to how I talk to people. And if I see myself getting caught up in saying something I usually say, I talk to myself and I switch it around. Or in that moment, I switch. I feel myself coming up with, like, realizing the situation, like, differently than I previously was. I don't know, that's the best way I can, simplest way I can put it. And now, like, I'm talking, I'm dancing with the words, I'm dancing with the talk. I'm like, I'm there, I'm in the moment. I guess that's what it is. I'm in the moment. I'm in the moment a lot more. But it allows you that moment means so much, because then in that moment, it's like in the adventure game scenario. In that moment, you can see for the tiniest second, or millisecond, or blah blah blah, the 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 boxes come up. That what's your next move? What's your next saying? with with how to, like, and what's the phrase and where is it coming from? and and that's when I was going through this, I was looking at comedians, Jesus and Mero. Check them out. I watched Jesus and Mero. I listened to all their podcasts. I missed the last two because I was waiting for the visual, but because of the corona, they not doing the visual. It's just the audio. But they still up and at it. But I was listening to how they just be throwing metaphors and stuff from there, and how we be doing that too. How I be doing that from there, and there and there. And when you really realize what's going on, you can start using that. They use it to be funny. They use it for jokes. For their art of their jokes. They're pulling things from the rap community, tying it together with animals from India, that they learned from be paying attention in this one moment in school and learning this, or and they got all the hood slang going on, and they got all this other stuff going on. They able to remix it because they understand where it's coming from, so they can put this comedic vibe on it that's like jester like, where it shows as true life, as True put it in his words. The gestures show the mainframe, show the network of what's of the reality that's going on. So with the joke, they're showing what's really going on. You get it? Just Ty, guys. Just Ty. We up and at it. Shout outs to that guy that said, you need to talk about your own ideas. Like, let me change that voice. But I appreciate him. But he commented and said, you need to talk about your own ideas and not just use Terrence's ideas and something. And I was like, yo, I be talking all the time. I think I talk a little too much. And I'm like, I'll go live soon just because you asked. So this live is mostly because he asked. Yeah, he asked. He asked me to broadcast some my own ideas, whatever that means, in this reality I'm in right now. You know, I'm just trying. Like I say that all the time. Do 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 do. And that's a feel good feeling from McDonald's. And I don't even eat McDonald's. I literally don't. You can ask the people around me. But because of the commercials and stuff that I grew up on, da 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 da, it just feels good for me to say that sometimes when I'm by myself. But I understand where it comes from. But it really goes deep because you start hearing where phrases coming from when you're with your child, and that's why I believe mushrooms can make you a more a better parent, or a more involved parent, that I believe mushrooms can do that highly because I witnessed it myself, and if it does that in me, I could see I could do that in a lot of other people. So here goes the story: how you can hear voices from like from your mom, from your grandma, from your great grandma. Like I have 5 grandmoms, so I have a lot of voices that goes on in my head, and when it comes to kids or how I see things organizing, and because they was like they raised me and stuff like that, and I hear so when situations would pop up that I wasn't comfortable, and this is what the mushrooms allowed me to do. They allowed me to see what I wasn't comfortable with, so I can remix that feeling and not just run away from it, but see what was going on, and then remix it and channel it then to my child. Cause like a lot of times you push away a lot of stuff that older people say. Hey, like I don't know what they're talking about, or you take too much in, and then you in the same world that they in. And but if you remix it, you doing what you do. You see, and the mushrooms really help because those voices come in spirit of moments, like when you're not thinking about it, and it's just like an automatic movement, like you about to pop them real quick, or you about to say hey, or um, I don't even have in my head right now. Those are just the extreme cases I'm thinking, or eat this. Or button up your shoes. I know what I'm saying. You know how it goes. The phrases just be there when you need to rely on something because your mind is focused on something else at the moment. So your mind does what it does. It has tools ready at this disposal that whatever is comfortable with using, it's gonna use it first. And those are habits. There's a lot of habits, like just saying good morning and hello and good day. I we in old England. What's going on? Welcome to the morning time. I like to change things up. Welcome to the morning time. That's one of the ones I started using. Like I'm something that's just like, oh man, you just woke up out of this dream, and then you just hear and like, hey, well, don't say stream. Stream resumed. Get something to make people think, and that's why people like music. That's why people like music. That's why people go into art, and that's what people go into that creative vibe where you see where you come from, and you like, I'm over here, and this is what over here creates. And it does have similar things, so that's how civilizations and cultures form. Because when you travel and stuff, you take a little bit of this and go over there, and but now since you're over here, you got different weather, so you got to deal with different things. So different environment, different climate, different plants, different predators can go around, all that stuff. So now, with music, that's why people like so into I was so into rap music. Like the different words. Like, how are you coming up with so many different metaphors to describe the same thing? And then when you start putting on beat and music and stuff, that's a whole nother experience. But the words itself, like when you writing there and you there with your pen and pad, there in the stew with your blunt, you got the 40 or something like that, or got the crystal if you really on and popping by the time you start, you in this moment, you're just writing. And then if you think about a thought, you like, wait, I could twist that thought around and I can write this. And then once you start getting in that flow and that rhythm, you learn your flow and stuff like that. You start being able to produce it on like a freestyle type level. Or even if you freestyle a couple bars and then and sorry food drop. What's that, you well? Or did the stream drop? But with the rapping and stuff, how they remix it, I mean, how they putting their own words down on the paper by like remixing words and stuff and sayings that they heard and things like a hook. And you know how a hook, you got the same melody, but you change the words around and stuff like that. Or some people when they hear songs and stuff, they can change the words and like make them funny, like Weird Al Alkovich, or how I do. But Weird Al Alkovich made millions off of it. Like that's all. That's this super. Like that's a superpower. Let's label it a superpower. Let's label it. Let's label it a special ability that most people not aware that they have. Cause most people just go with catchphrases. Oh, that sound good. I've been using it for a while. Oh, that sound good. I heard him say it. I heard her say it. Oh, ah. If only you could have just froze the food in place, like in Raising Dion. Like, don't fall. Right before it drops on the floor. Hey, Rex Wolf. Rex Wolf. Oh. All right. So, with the that's just the vibes that come out. Enchantment is an ability. Oh yeah, I remember you saying Beyonce uses enchantment a lot, and I was like, for sure. And that's how they making millions. That's why I'm never surprised when I hear about the person Rex with his black whoop. Yo, I already knew that. I kind of knew that, Black Wolf. I kind of in my head, but the second guess made me say Rex Wolf when I was reading it. I was like, it's a lot of wolves out here. It's another wolf? Like, yeah, that's strange. But what's going on? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm never surprised when I heard this rapper that was like nothing, but like not on the coming or down or nothing like that. And then he said he wrote a song about him having a Mercedes and he ain't have a Mercedes. And he really was feeling that song. He got out there, got popular, and then a month later he had a Mercedes. Yeah, I have a couple crystals. I got this big quartz one right here that I like to stand stuff on. Oh, I got this one that's on top of this. It's like Chinese writings on there. I don't know what it is though. It's like a treasure box in there. Got some CBD, some feathers. I collect feathers. This was one. Oh, wait. Where's that one I got off the guy at the gas station? He was trying to get gas money. And he had a bunch of crystals on the back of his car. I was like, huh, check this out. Yeah, this was like a cool. I had to change the focus and all that. Can't really see that. But this one was a cool one. It's like a black quartz. I don't know what it is. I'm not too keen with names. Here's another one. My memory is getting better. Yo, and this was something I found while skateboarding. One more thing since I'm inside this chest. I found this skateboarding. It was just like in a random parking lot. Wait, there it is. It's like a gorilla with three eyes. He has a third eye. Not even a gorilla. I don't know what this is. But it's pretty cool. Hey, good morning, I. Mama here. How was your dreams?
Good.
Have any cool dreams?
Yeah.
What happened?
I'll tell you later when you're done with the show.
You tell me later when you're done with the show. I was trying to get you to say it on the show. Love you. She always usually tells me her dreams. But she's like, I know you on the show. I don't use crystals, but I think of my body of being one giant crystal. Oh, it is a crystal. Used mostly now is for easy time inability. Wait, well, I gotta check that hurts out. And Rex Wolf, you're right about the body being like a crystal. Hold on. It was something I was. I was just thinking about the things that make up our bones and stuff like that. It's all minerals and, but just more organic. But still the bones and stuff like that. And even beyond that, even beyond the physical stuff. Then you tune into yourself, you really start vibing out. Tune into something crazy. Alright, let me look up this. Huh. Let's look at what you well put us on to. He said, why do we use 32.768 hertz in... Oh, I thought that said crystals. But it say circuits. Why do tuning fork crystals for watches? Oh, okay. Let's see what pops up. I want to be able to see the comments still. Ask the engineer. Why do tuning fork crystals for watches always have a frequency of 32-768 hertz? And what you mentioned used mostly now for its easy timing. Oh, the quartz. How? Oh, okay. I think I remember what's going on now. But Yo, Ty, do you still use Teespring? Yeah, I still have it. It's in the description. Just tainow store. I guess it's not in this description. They ain't put it. It's usually automatically there. But the just tainow stored. Hmm. By installing a quartz crystal in a corresponding energy source that makes the quartz isolate. Test, test. There we go. Thanks for the lookout. Like, what does Rolex has? Does is it mechanical movement or is it based off of a crystal? Because you know how Rolex is supposed to be like the premier Prazois. So we have the crystal. I looked it up. Does it have a crystal? And it says that it uses sapphire crystals as opposed to quartz crystals. So why do they use sapphire crystals? Hmm. Rose has used rubies too. What? So that's what makes them distinct from other watches, besides the bling bling on the top. The crystal protecting the face also adds its flair. Depending on the era, your Rolex watch either has an acrylic crystal or a sapphire, acrylic plastic crystal or a sapphire crystal. Oh, I thought it was keeping track of the time the crystal was. It's one of the tickers. Like, I don't know what's going on. Many vintage watch. Oh, it used to be acrylic, and then they moved over to sapphire. It's less shiny as a retro vibe. Oh, okay. So is it mechanical? Still want to know. Still answer my question. Again, while those two models shared the same angular shape and